In Blood of Elves, when Ciri was training at Kaer Morhen, there were 5 witchers who helped her practice. 4 of them were from the School of the Wolf. The 5th one, however, wasn't a usual visitor at Kaer Morhen. Coën was a witcher hailing from Bovis, and in the books we are told that he is not usually a guest at Kaer Morhen. Geralt, even at one point, mentioned that it is his first winter at the Witcher's Keep, indicating that he is not a Wolf School witcher like the others that are present. This kind of brings up the discussion of where Coën came from and the different Witcher schools in the books. The schools themselves are never really clearly mentioned in the books. We do however get mentions of 3 different types of Witcher medallions, those being the Wolf, Cat and Griffin. It is made clear in one of the books, Season of Storms, that witchers with the cat medallions are not welcome in Kaer Morhen anymore. And, as Blood of Elves takes place about 20 years later after Season of Storms, it is safe to say that cat witchers probably still are not welcome at the keep. And thus, taking the information about the cat witchers not being welcome at Kaer Morhen, and Coën being there for the first time in Blood of Elves, all we are left with is guessing these from the School of the Griffin. The games in the books that weren't written by Sapkowski would refer to Coën as being a witcher from the School of the Griffin. Coën is one of the younger witchers out there, being about the same age as Lambert. In his youth he was trained at the Witcher's Keep of Kaer Seren in Bovis, but in the time before he turned from a boy into a witcher, he was hit with a severe case of smallpox. The disease left Coën's face partially scarred and disfigured, something which he would later try to hide with a short black beard. The mutations were hard on Coën, which could be seen in the red threads that riddled both the white of his eyes and the irises. But apart from some slight appearance issues, Coën would become a witcher and set out on the path to slay monsters. As time went on, eventually the Witcher's Keep of the Griffin School was attacked and left underneath a large pile of snow. The attack left the remaining Griffin witchers without a home, and thus they would need to find different places to winter. And for Coën, his destination to stay for the winter, eventually, one year, became the Wolf School Keep of Kaer Morhen. He got along very well with the other witchers, and in the time he was at the keep, he would spend quite some time helping to train Ciri. In a way, Coën became sort of a friend to Ciri. He would tell her about being a witcher. They would play hand-slapping games together when Ciri was not training with a sword. Both Coën and Ciri had become very skilled at the game. At some point, they would both not be able to hit the other's hands. Coën, however, was actually just playing along most of the time, to make sure Ciri would have some fun, as he in fact, due to his witcher mutations, would be able to truly never get hit by her hands. And in a way, whenever he let himself get hit by Ciri, he seemed to enjoy seeing her happy. Coën would sometimes carry Ciri around on his back, and he was in a way the witcher Ciri would be the closest with during her stay at Kaer Morhen, excluding Geralt of course. When Triss came to help at the keep with Ciri and her magical powers to see what was going on with her trances, she asked the witchers with making some changes. Changes most of which Coën seemed to understand the use of. Of course, like the other witchers, he didn't know how to raise a girl, and it would show in a few of his reactions to Triss. But comparable to Lambert and Vesemir, he took everything pretty well. Besides, when Coën was training Ciri, he tended to the horses of the witchers present at the keep, cleaning the stables and repairing some broken harnesses. But not everything was all fun for him during his stay at Kaer Morhen. There was an incident where Ciri entered a trance, and in that trance, she predicted death, 2 deaths, that of Geralt, of Rivia, and that of Coën. From this point on, I'll mention events from later on in the books, so if you do not want to get potential spoilers for Netflix shows later seasons, you have been warned. The prediction Ciri made while in a trance about Coën's death claimed that he would die by 2 teeth, and Geralt by 3. The witchers were not sure what it meant, but seeing how they hunted monsters for a living, dying by teeth seemed like something that could happen. It was this prediction that drove the witchers to get the help of Triss in the first place, as they weren't sure if they were missing something. Towards the end of the wintering period at Kaer Morhen, the witchers talked about their plans for what they would do this year, where they would go, which was when Triss brought up the First Northern War and Nilfgaard into discussion. Coën and Lambert mentioned the consequences of the war, how witchers would find plenty of work near where the war took place, which seemed to snap something in Triss. They defend these children. She interrupted crossly. Yes, I know, from the werewolves who might kill 2 or 3 a year, while an Nilfgaardian foray can kill and burn entire settlements in an hour. Yes, you defend orphans, while I fight so that there would be as few of those orphans as possible. I am fighting the cause, not the effect. That's why I'm on Foltest Council, and sit with Verkart and Kiramet. We deliberate on how to stop war from breaking out, should it come to it. How to defend ourselves. Because war is constantly hovering over us like a vulture. For you, it's an adventure. For me, it's a game in which the stakes are survival. I'm involved in this game, and that's why your indifference and frivolity hurt and insult me. Geralt sat up and looked at her. We're witchers, Triss. Can't you understand that? What's there to understand? The enchantress tossed her chestnut mane back. Everything is crystal clear. You've chosen a certain attitude to the world around you. The fact that this world might at any moment fall to pieces has a place in that choice. In mine, it doesn't. That's where we differ. I'm not sure it's only there we differ. The world is falling to ruins, she repeated. We can watch it happen and do nothing, or we can counteract it. This speech of Triss, this discussion, changed something in Coën, although it might take a bit of time before it would set in. A new war, more impactful to the north than the first one, ravaged the northern realms, and Coën firsthand got to see what the war and Nilfgaard did to people. He decided to no longer sit idly by, not picking a side. Instead, he wanted to do something about the invaders. And so, he enlisted to help fight Nilfgaard. Coën would be there, at the Battle of Brenna, where he would fight against the invaders. And during this fight, he would get stabbed by a 2-pronged pitchfork. One tooth pierced his heart, but due to his mutations, Coën held on for a little while longer than would humanly be possible. He was brought to the medic tent where Shani was. However, he died before he could be operated on. The soldiers he had fought with respected him, something that is rare for common soldiers to do of a witcher. Coën decided he would no longer stay at the sidelines of the war. Triss, her words, convinced him to do something, going against the witch neutrality to try and make a change for the better. And in fighting and killing Nilfgaardian soldiers, Coën might have saved more lives than he would have in an entire Witcher career of killing monsters. But what do you think of Coën? Would you have liked to see him make an appearance in the flashback in Witcher 3? Till the next video. Bye.